Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to talk about these NFL stadiums created by AI. Now, I did not create these were made by AI. I tried to find the exact artist that made these, but I couldn't find it anywhere. The original source I saw was NFL memes on Facebook, but we're going to go over these, talking about them, because some of these are just absolutely crazy, and I would actually like to see some of these actually implemented if it was physically possible. First up is the Tennessee Titans. Now this is pretty cool. I will say though, like the structure of this isn't really possible. Like the way that guitar sits up, like that would be like 1,000 feet in the air. That's just not possible. But I do like it. You know, Tennessee, it's like the music city that they have with Nashville. So I do like this. I think it's really cool looking. I will say those seats on the upper deck, you would not be able to see the field from there. So not too realistic. This beauty, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, is perfect. This is perfection. Okay, you look at the way this is built. This ship is great detail. It would be, I mean, this is cool. Like this is what I thought most of these were going to be like, but this one I think is one of my favorite ones. Like this is awesome. Next up we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. Pretty cool looking stadium here. I do like how it's like in the jungle where Jaguars would be. So it is pretty cool. The stadium itself is a little basic. I maybe would like to see a little bit more to that. Next up is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now this looks sick. I mean, it looks, like what are they producing there outside of like, you know, Super Bowl championships, okay? Because this looks pretty sick here, which is kind of crazy because the city of Pittsburgh is actually like a really nice city. So it kind of gives it like a bad look here, but like Pittsburgh's actually a pretty nice place. But absolutely love this one. Then you got the Cincinnati Bengals. And this is cool. I like the setting and everything. And the Cincinnati Bengals Stadium has a highway by it. Why, out of all these, like, why is there a highway still by the stadium? Like that's crazy. So Bengals got a little shafted with that, but it's still a nice stadium. I do like it. The next up is the Baltimore Ravens. And this one is pretty cool. I do like the way this looks. This is probably one of the most realistic looking ones. But it's definitely super nice. I really like this. The purple at the top looks really cool. And then obviously the Ravens flying around is a nice touch. Now this one doesn't really make too sense to me. I feel like AI shafted Cleveland here. And Cleveland always just gets shafted with everything. This just looks like a normal football stadium and they just put it like on the lake. That's all they did. I mean, like they missed an opportunity here, the AI did, with creating like a dog pound. And like that could have been the stadium, but instead it just looks like a normal NFL stadium. Okay, the Kansas City Chiefs. This one looks pretty cool. The way this looks, it still looks good. It just doesn't look like that would be the stadium. It just looks like it's like that front door looks so small. I mean, like where are all the fans on the first floor? And that's it. Or maybe it's the dome behind it. Maybe that's the dome behind it. I don't know. I feel like the AI kind of messed up this one a little bit. Then you got the LA Chargers. This one looks kind of cool. It's definitely the background of LA on that. You can definitely tell by that, especially if you play GTA 5. You know that background, even if you've never been to LA. You know that background. But yeah, it's pretty cool looking. I almost feel like the actual LA stadium is actually cooler than this one. So not too bad. Okay, this one is actually pretty cool. I do like how the Broncos is like up in the mountains, which is cool, you know, Mile High Stadium. But I do like how the train goes like right by the stadium, and it's like, you know, it kind of makes me think like Broncos country, let's ride. So I do like this. I think the Bronco one is pretty cool. Okay, now this really looks more like the Oakland Raiders than the Las Vegas Raiders, because if you ever got off the BART station, which is like the Bay Area transit system for the Bay Area, this is the image that you got when you used to walk through the Coliseum. Like it looked just like this, except for the giant skull right there. But this is pretty much how it felt the entire time. But I think this looks sick. It's really Coliseum, Raiders, everything. Love this one. The Miami Dolphin one, this one's pretty cool. I do like this. The only problem is only the rich are going to be able to get to it because there's no landmass. It's just out in the middle of the ocean with all the dolphins. So that is a pretty cool concept. The New York Jets being on a jet carrier, which is pretty cool. I do like this. Obviously, this would not be feasible. You can't. It'd be really hard to play football on a carrier like this. I mean, but still, it's really cool. I mean, it's just as realistic as the Tampa Bay one, to be honest. But yeah, I do like this. The AI did a good job with this one. This is gorgeous. The Saints Stadium looks amazing. I'm kind of sad I didn't see, there's no inside of this, but the outside looks absolutely sick. I do like the New Orleans Saints one. It's really cool. The New England Patriots one's pretty cool. I like how they kind of have like the, you know, original colonies there. So it's definitely neat. I like how they have all the Patriots running around. This is kind of cool. The stadium itself maybe could get a little bit of work on, but I do like kind of like that outside layer. That's pretty cool. Okay, the Buffalo one is pretty cool. I like all the waterfalls around it. I think that's pretty neat. Obviously, it's going to be very difficult to get to the stadium, but structurally, this looks really pretty. I would probably worry about like where that water source is coming from right out of the stadium. Like, is that coming directly from like the restrooms, or like what is that? Like that's kind of weird. But outside of that, really cool here with the Buffalo Bills. All right, the Carolina Panther one has a cool location. It is pretty neat. I would maybe like to see something a little bit different with the stadium itself, but overall, still a good job with this one. All right, the Atlanta Falcons one is very futuristic, and I do like this. It's very sleek, very cool looking. It kind of gives like almost like a one of these cool fancy cars, like electric vehicles. But I do like how big that center logo is. It's massive, so that's kind of unique, but I do like that. Okay, the Minnesota Viking one, this one is really cool. It looks like everyone would freeze to death in this place because like there's mountains right there, there's snow everywhere. Like they really should have a dome for this thing just for the safety of the players and the fans because I don't think anybody's gonna be able to watch this game. Okay, now the Chicago Bears one is awesome. Okay, the Chicago Bears one is pretty cool. I do like how the Bears are running up and it's in the jungle. It kind of gives me like a Jungle Book feeling for, you know, those old enough to remember the Jungle Book. I do like this. I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, they did a good job with this one. Next up is the Lions. Same kind of concept as like the Bears and Bengals one. You have a whole bunch of lions around. It's in the jungle. It's pretty cool. I would maybe like to see the stadium actually get a little bit more to it because it looks like just a regular stadium just in the middle of the jungle. Okay, the Packers looks like the Field of Dreams. I mean, it's pretty cool looking. Very clean cut. I do like this. It is pretty nice. That background just looks really pretty. Okay, now the Washington one's kind of weird because I had a hard time even identifying that this was Washington because it doesn't look like it has any of the colors. I don't even know what that icon is in the middle of it. And then there's like several Washington monuments. They added like more for some reason. Okay, the New York Giants one is pretty cool. It's a basic looking stadium though, inside like right next to York, but like that's a pretty cool location that they put that in. So I do like that on how like close it is. That's really cool. But the stadium itself, I think, like some of the other ones, I think that could have been improved a little bit. I don't really know what to say of this Cowboys one. I feel like this was probably one of the most disappointing ones because it's just like the side. So you're like if this was the entrance to the Cowboys Stadium, that's cool. But for this to be like the whole thing, like that's all of it, that's, I don't know. Like the Cowboys Stadium looks gigantic and it looks cool, but like why is it just a cowboy and western town next to it? Now this Eagles one is phenomenal. This one might be the favorite one next to the Tampa Bay one. The way that they did the nest around the outside for like an Eagles nest is super cool. I mean, you can even see in the picture the whole bunch of people trying to go to this stadium. They ain't going to some of the other ones. They're going to this one because this one looks sick. And then they got the LA Rams. This one's kind of cool. It's on the beaches of LA, so you know that makes sense. I think this is probably trying to mimic like Malibu, but it's cool. The stadium itself though, kind of basic, except for that little like sky deck, I guess. I don't know what you want to call that thing, balcony. The Arizona one, this one's cool. One of the most like famous places in California. Oh, sorry. Okay, the Arizona one is pretty cool. I do think a dome would be nicer here, but the way they put it in like the horseshoe is like, I think that's what it's called. It's called the horseshoe. Is really nice. It's a beautiful place. So it would mess up the actual view of what nature put in there, but that it is kind of like a cool way AI put that in there. Okay, the Seattle Seahawks one is so freaking cool looking, but there is no way I would ever go to the stadium. There's no way I would be up in that high of a structure in a stadium with that much weight up all on those little tiny like beams. Like there's no way. Like super cool, but no way. No. I bet a lot of players would refuse to play here too. Okay, the San Francisco one is pretty cool. It's going through like obviously the most iconic spot in California probably is the Golden Gate Bridge. But the way the bridge goes like right in the stadium just doesn't really make sense. Outside of that though, a pretty cool location that they have right there. Okay, the Indianapolis Colts having the raceway going around the football field, that's pretty cool. You know, Indianapolis is always big for racing. So I do like this. This is actually pretty cool. I wonder if that football field is actually like legit 100 yards. So it looks a little bit bigger. And then the Houston Texans, these giant horns on there. That's super cool. This one actually seems like a realistic stadium that they possibly could build. But out of all these stadiums, which ones do you guys like the most? Which ones do you guys like the least? Let me know in the comments down below. If you guys like this video, please hit that like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next video. Ready, break!